Hi crew, today we're going to be looking at Race to the Finish, the final box for the jockeys for Malifaux, 3rd Ed. So we'll just take off that plastic. So we've got all our friends there: Drumstick, Barrelby, Toast, Squish and Squash, a render of Squish and Squash, who's on the box and back, playable with Biobash, Hogwild. So these guys are all an expansion for that. They are a little bit large for the board once they're on bases, but that was sort of true of the Gremlin starter for 3rd Ed as well. They're supposed to be able to be used in Biobash, but once you get them on the bases, they don't really fit on the board that well. Who's in the box? Legal stuff. Yeah, so pretty excited for this. These guys are all pre-assembled. Not sure where they're going with jockeys in... Nothing in there. Not sure where they're going with jockeys in 4th Ed. It's going to be interesting. So we've got the cards for them in 3rd Ed. Which will just be taking up space now since we're moving on to a new edition. This is interesting because this is one of the last boxes of 3rd edition. So on their website they list their SKUs, and this one's SKU is right here on the box. So WYR, weird. So these numbers are the SKU for the product, so they tell you where it sits in that lineup. This was one of the last 4 models released in 4th Ed, possibly the last one. So Race for the Finish could be the last 3rd Ed product we ever get from, well, that we ever got from Malifaux. So it's really interesting for that. I'll show a quick video thing of the SKUs for the weird books, because you can see right there how they're sequential. So every weird item has a number which ticks up from there. Like I think the first rule book was weird 01, 4 zeros and then a 1. And it's really interesting because I tried to have a quick look before I made this video, and the SKUs seem to be faction specific. When you Google these SKUs, this is the high as numbers go. 2, 3, 6, 4, 4. There's no 6, 4, 5. 6, 4, 3 is, I believe, Bass, the big crocodile. And then 642 is another Bayou model. This number ticks down and they're all Bayous for that thing. And then when I tried to look up the propagandist is 237. So if these are all in order, and Guild Propagandist was released about the same time as this. So really interesting that those SKUs have stayed consistent, but also that they're faction specific. I'm sure I could do a video on that if I sat down with a spreadsheet and created a lot of numbers. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here for looking at these lovely ladies and gentlemen from the Bayou to complete the Jockey Keyword, which is really cool. So let's start with little Barrelby here. We got a card for Barrelby. There we go. There's a card for Barrelby. So some good wood texture on that. Nice and dynamic. You'll probably want to pin him to the base. Nice texture on the wheels. So here's the Tri-Chi jockey. It's pretty cool. Let's see, next up we've got Drumstick. Oh, and a flight stand for Drumstick. Through a specific... Nah, there never is for weird models. Like a specific peg hole for it. So we've got the booster rockets with the fire effect. So Drumstick is a big hat. So probably inspired by that flying guy from Mad Max 2 and 3. Is he the same character or is he a different character? The lore is really muddy on that character. Same actor. It's just weird. And tying into that Mad Max Segue, we've got Toast. So Toast here is written by a Furiosa and a Doof Warrior. So that's a direct Mad Max Fury Road reference. Nice gubbins on the back. What's underneath? Yay, stuff we'll never see. Can you focus? Yeah, you'll never see this once you glue it down, which is really sad because that's some awesome detailing. Because like a turtle's ribs are part of their shell. That's how crazy evolution is. Nice detailing there. Not a fan of the way the wheels sort of tuck in like that. Like it's not as pronounced on the box art. It's like, you know, you've got all the wheels facing in like that, but it's like, so they should be like this, but instead they're like this and that. So not a fan of that. And it's a little bit smallish, but if it was any larger, it wouldn't fit in a 50mm base. And the goblins are about the right scale, so it is what it is. It's pretty cool. You've got some fire coming out of the guitar there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's one of the main reasons for getting this box is Toast, because Toast just looks cool. And then lastly, we've got the amazing Squish and Squash. We've got these little goobers. Like, this is No Name Jockey, and we've got Squish and Squash. It's Wednesday, my dudes. That's not Wednesday. Maybe I should release this video on a Wednesday just to make that relevant. So this looks super fun to paint up. She's just strapped on some froggies and she's going for a leap. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So base-wise, is everyone on a 40 except Toast. Toast is on a 50. So the rest of the jockey keywords all on 40s. So it's really interesting that Weird has made this choice. Squish and Squash. Oh, Bartleby. Oh, I don't even know. How do you stick that to a base? There you go. Be ham-fisted. There we go. Look at these little goobers. They're fantastic. So Weird really got those pre-assembled models down pat. They look really good. For scale, we've got Yan Lo from First Ed, Firstborn Marine, Angel Eyes, Midnight Stalker, and the other jockeys. We've got Ruffles, the other guy, Fluffernutter, and Bo Peep. Man, I'm sorry, like, this one, I have totally forgotten your name. I know you're a wild guest, but yeah, so that's a size side by side, the old and the new. There you go, families all together. Yeah, they look pretty good. I really hope we get a jockey master so we can use these guys in 4th ed all in one crew. Do we have that? My phone's over there. Let me check. Let's see. Cards. Jockey. Done. Yeah, it looks like these guys are just going to be versatiles for now. That kind of sucks. But hey, fingers crossed we're short some masters and some factions, so we might get a master for these guys. And then we can run them all together. That was my dream in 3rd, and I couldn't get them to the table before 3rd ran out. So yeah, excited to have these guys for 4th. Even if it's in other Bayou crews, of which I only own like Nightmare Ulix, but I'm sure these will work in Nightmare Ulix. I can take a couple of them, or just the ones I want to take, and just have a good time. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful for someone. Have a great week. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.